Woody's World brought to you by Shanahan's Restaurant, Steakhouse, and Fun Time Emporium. Today I'm going to stay very calm again and tell you that I'm going to talk about the Rockies, and I have a cheat sheet here for you because I want to go to it. I'm going to keep this short. If I were the general manager, if I were the king of the world, if Les was my assistant, here's what I would do and order him to go out and do it. And this is not my daily knock at the Rockies, so I'm just saying, here's what I would do. And I want Les's opinion. I want him to listen to this. I would go out and I would trade Rosario right away. He's got 5 home runs. He's got 22 RBIs. His only strength is to be a hitter. His weakness is he can't play. He can't play on the field. Teams have figured out that every time Rosario's in the lineup, bunt down the first base line. You cannot have him and De La Rosa in the same lineup. The Rangers figured that out the other day. They were going to keep bunting until they could figure out stuff. Rosario didn't get any errors on any of those plays, but he's got to take care of it. Todd Helton did when De La Rosa's over there. And he can't play first base. He can't play dead at first base. He can't catch, can't play in the outfield. You got to get rid of him, whatever you can get for him. Don't overvalue him. That's what I would do if I'm general manager. I also get rid of Blackmon. Blackmon has peaked. This is going to be one of those cases, Les, where the Rockies get less than what the value is for a player because they are going to keep him around till you can't get anything for him. I would trade Stubbs, and I know I picked on Stubbs. I looked at how many strikeouts he had when he was down at Albuquerque. 39. He had 39 strikeouts when he went to the minor leagues. I'd get rid of Barnes. Barnes having a nice little year, hitting about 290 since he's come up, but Barnes is just a guy. He's a jag. That's not your future. Get something while you can. Get a little something. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to want to get out of them. I would get rid of Kendrick. I would get rid of him in a moment, and I would just take anything you could get for him. I would get rid of Kyle Parker in their minors, but if I'm not going to get rid of him, I'm going to bring him up. I also get rid of that backup shortstop, second baseman, Del Caso.
Descalso.
Whatever he is. He's been a waste of time. He's hitting 150. Why no? The kid that they keep bringing up, and he can't play in the outfield. You know?
Oh, you know.
Yeah.
You know
what? I get rid of McHenry. He's a 240 kind of guy. Those are guys I'd get rid of. Here's the guys I would
nobody left.
Well, that's your backup outfield.
Also, you play with 3 guys on the roster.
I'd also trade Cargo. So I would trade practically all their outfielders. Cargo, Barnes, Stubbs, Blackmon. Corey Dickerson's going to be a player. He's now coming back. He's under rehab assignment down in the minors. He's about to come back to. He's going to be a player over time. Here's what I would do. I would bring up David Dahl, who's just come back off the injury list. He lost his spleen, and he's going to play at AA. Let's find out what he can do. I want to bring up Kyle Parker if you're not going to trade him. He's a #1 draft pick. Put him in right field. Let's find out about him. The guy was a college quarterback. You know that. He's athletic. He just can't hit, really, when he gets to the major leagues. I would bring up Matt McBride. Have you seen him over the last couple of years? Matt McBride, when he was here, didn't hit great, but in the minor leagues, he hits 370. I'd put Paulson at first base. Let's find out about him. I would bring up Trevor Story and have him be the backup in the infield, and I'd bring up Tim Wheeler. Now, about the pitching staff. I already talked about it. Got to bring up John Gray. Let's find out about him. You are the guys responsible for him. You say that he's come up short a little bit. Well, let's find out about him. John Lannon is a guy they got from the Mets. He has been a workhorse down at Albuquerque. He's 6'4" with a 4.70. Bring him up. They got a guy, a kid you never heard of, Simon Castro. I would bring him up. They've already got German up here, Gonzalez German. I want to take a look at him. Those are the guys that I'd get rid of. Axford. I'd get rid of Kendrick. I would get rid of LaTroy Hawkins. I would let those guys go on and try and play for contenders. That's exactly what I would do if I were the general manager. And guess what? Guess how many times they're going to follow my advice in regard to all these players I've brought up? 0. But you should trade. Those are like 10 guys, 10, 12 guys. And here is my other point, which is Dick should like. The Rockies, final point, the Rockies are 21st in payroll in the league. They've got 15 guys making less, $500,000 or less. If they got rid of Cargo, they could really bring down the people I'm talking about. Who do I trade for all these guys? I go to each one of the 30 clubs and I say, who do you want off this list? Give me a young pitcher. Give me one of your AA guys that's maybe your third guy. I would get 12 pitchers. Now as a general manager, I've accomplished something. I trade 10 or 12 guys. I get 10 or 12 new pitchers because I pointed out this week, out of the draft since 2007 to 2014, they drafted 186 pitchers, and 8 of them have made it to the majors. And of those 8, there's only been 2 that have been any good. That's my opinion. Woody's World is sponsored by Shanahan Steakhouse. Shanahan Steakhouse has been a great steakhouse in this town since it's opened. We're all smart people here. There are two or three really great steakhouses, and Shanahan's is one of them. We happen to think, and I could even name them for you. I will. Del Frisco's, John Elway's, and Shanahan's. They're all great restaurants. We've been to them. Shanahan's, I'm going to tell you what makes the difference there. The staff, from the valet parkers to the women that work at the front desk, the bartenders have been around town forever, are great bartenders, good people to know. Their wait staff and Mark Steron, the managing general partner, their chefs, their wine sommeliers. When you pull all of that together, it is Denver's best steakhouse, and it's going to be your best time. Make a reservation today at shanahansteakhouse.com.